Hello dear children, we have already done with the plant physiology. Almost we will be finishing up with plant physiology with the chemical coordination in plants. We had started with absorption of roots. Then we saw what is transpiration, photosynthesis, all the major aspects of plants we have seen now. And I hope it is very clear with you. I hope that you are also completing the notes, that is the structured questions as well as the descriptive questions. Kindly do that, and then slowly and steadily we can be able to finish the syllabus, as well as I want you to ask doubts. If you have any doubts, you can just message me and ask your queries. So let us start with the 7th lesson in the plant physiology, that's in unit 2, which is chemical coordination in plants, right? So till last year we were studying about the chemical coordination in animals, right? We studied we have different type of hormones. Our body has different type of hormones, some hormones for the growth, some for the, we can say, for the thinking capacity. So many things are there, right? As well as some hormone for the, like we can say that it is dependent upon, like that it's a master gland and all these things, many things we have studied. So likewise in plants also we have certain type of hormones, right? What are hormones? Hormones are nothing but the chemical messengers, right? So what type of hormones are present in the plants? Now here in plants, if we see that uh, like if there is a breeze, slightly the plant will move here and there. So how is this movement controlled? Okay, how is this movement taking place in the plants, right? We had studied about the turgor movements and all these things, right? So here also we can say that there are certain chemical messengers. What are these chemical messengers? These are nothing but the hormones which are there. Okay, so here movements of the body parts are common in animals, but in plants these movements are seen in the form of bending, twisting, or elongation, stretching or lengthening, right? So here now these movements, if there are movements in the plants, okay, if there is the plant is moving little when there is a breeze and all, so why is it moving? Because of the breeze, right? So if it is moving because of the breeze, then who is responsible for that? It's the external factor. Can I say that the breeze is the external factor of the environment, right? If it is the external factor of the environment, then that is called as the stimuli. So when we are talking about the plant hormones, we will be having one stimuli and one response. Now I said that the plant was still and suddenly the wind blew. So what happened? The plant started to, so here if I just an example, this plant, it started to move, right? So when it started to move, what did it do? It gave a response. So its movement was a response to the stimulus. What was the stimulus? Stimulus was the wind. The wind was a stimulus. So this wind, we can call it as what? We can call it as an external factor. Okay, we can call it as an external factor. And then when we are having the turgor movement, can we say that it's the inner factor, internal factor? So because of that internal factor, we can say that there is a bending or there is a movement in the plant. So it's a response which is given. So plants also give a response. Okay, they are also giving certain responses. So we can say here that changes either in the external or internal environment of an organism or the stimuli, and the resulting actions are called the responses. Okay, so I hope you are clear with it. Now the difference in the movements of the plants and animals is due to their different modes of nutrition. Plants synthesize their food while animals depend on the plants for their food directly or indirectly. Hence bodily movements in the plants is not needed. So do plants need any movement? No, because they are always they are producers, so they are fixed at one place. But animals, they are the consumers, so they will be moving from one place to another for the food. Then plants do not need a fast response to small changes in their immediate environment. They do not need to respond to light, they do need to respond to light, gravity and seasonal changes. Okay, so what we are talking about, plants, they don't have a fast response to any small changes, but they respond. Where do they respond? They respond towards the light, they respond towards the gravity and the seasonal changes, and they coordinate with the growth of the cells in various parts of the plant body. So though plants do not appear to have a nervous system or sense system, their sensitivity and coordination is a result of a chemical control. So here what do we mean by this complete paragraph? It's said that plants which are there, they are not moving, they are the producers. So if they are the producers, they will be producing the food. So they are standing at one fixed place. Okay, but they are responding to what? They are responding Okay, they are responding towards the light, they are responding towards gravity and the seasonal changes. So with help of this, they will be coordinating with their cell activities, right? So they don't have a nervous control, but this sensitivity and coordination, okay, that is a growth of the cells and many other things like the movement, these all have a chemical control. Okay, these all will be having a chemical control. So plants will be responding to the stimuli by producing the chemical compounds called hormones that work as messengers. So as human beings have hormones which are working as chemical messengers, similarly plants will be having hormones which are working as chemical messengers. So these compounds are similar to the hormones which are found in animals, somewhat similar to the hormones of animals, but they are produced in one area of the plant, transported around the body of the plant and have the effects at a location far away from the site of their production. So where will they be producing? They will be produced in only one part of the plant, okay, any one part of the plant. Mostly they are produced at the meristems. What are the meristems? These are the root apex, the terminal of the roots and the shoots. So there itself it is produced. So once it is produced, it will be transported to the various parts of the body and it will be away from the site of the production. So here the main way in which plants respond to these hormones is by their growth, right? So when we see a small little baby plant growing, so it's responded to its hormone. Okay, so here in some cases growth is stimulated while others it is inhibited. Sometimes one side of the plant grows than the other, which results in the bending of the roots or shoots in response to a particular stimulus. So you can say sometimes what happens, two different roots are there or two different part of the stems are there, one might be growing, the other might be bending. Why? It is because of this result. So here we can say that plants will be responding to the hormones, right? Plants are responding to the hormones either by growth or by some action. So which action? This action, bending of the roots, shoots. So this action they will be responding. So here I hope you are clear about the hormones, that plants will be responding to certain kind of hormones that work as the messengers. So these compounds will be similar to the hormones which are found in the animals. So plants do have such hormones which are the growth hormones, and they will be stimulating the whole process. Now the main areas where these growth will be seen, growth of cell division in the plants are near the meristems, right? Meristems means what? These are the tip of the shoot. You know, these areas occur behind the tip of the shoot or root. Now these meristems are sensitive to hormones, and the hormones help to stretch the cellulose walls of meristematic tissue to facilitate division. So how does the cell division take place? There is a elongation of the cell wall, and who is helping in this elongation of the cell wall? The hormones, the plant hormones. Then plants will be responding to variety of stimuli. So which are the stimuli? They are sensitive to light. Can you give me an example where they are sensitive to light? Right, the sunflower, right? The sunflower changes its position responding to the stimulus, right? Plants respond to the direction from which the light comes, the intensity and the length of the daily exposure to it. Then they are also sensitive to water. They are responding to the water. How? By the growth. Temperature. How? By transpiration, right? Gravity. They are responding to gravity. How? Again by growth or by the absorption of the roots. Okay, so different parts of the plant may differently react to the same stimulus. For example, shoots grow towards light but roots grow away from it. So roots are growing away from it. They are helping in the getting deep into the ground for the process of what? For the process of absorption. So are you understanding? So this is how plants are responding to various other actions. That means plants are sensitive to light, water, temperature, gravity. Then the next part, the term hormone which was there, okay, this was given by it was given by William Bellis and Ernest Starling in 1902, and the term phytohormone was coined. Phyton means plant, so phytohormone, which is distinguishing them from animals and plants. So let us study some hormones in detail. So here we are now going to start to learn about certain hormones. I hope that this aspect is very clear to you. Plants do respond. They are responding to stimulus, and which are the stimulus they are responding to? That's water, light, gravity, right? So these are certain temperatures. So these are certain factors on which plants are responding. So now we are going to learn about the hormones in plants, which is auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene and abscisic acid. Okay, so these are the hormones which we are going to study. Now let us study first auxins. So auxins word, the word auxin was first coined by the scientist, which is F.W. Went in 1928. Okay, now it was derived from the Greek word which is meaning that is auxin. Auxin means to grow. Now this is a very powerful growth stimulating hormone. So it's auxins are powerful growth stimulants and are quite effective at low concentrations. Now auxins which are there, they are completely distributed in higher plants where as well as in lower plants. So in higher plants, where are they present? They are present in actively growing regions like the shoot, root apex and lateral meristems. Lateral meristems are nothing but, if this is the stem, they will be present at these edges, the lateral meristems, which helps in the elongation of the plant. So here, mostly here, these auxins will be present. Okay, so here. Now, where these auxins, as I told you, these are a very powerful growth stimulants, and they are present throughout in the higher plants and in lower plants also they are distributed uniformly. Now what is the function of auxin? So first function of auxin is to promote the growth of the stems, roots and fruits by the elongation. So how this process is taking place? So here if you see, if these are the cell, so these auxins will be promoting the elongation, or we can say that the stretching or the relaxation of this cell wall. So when this cell wall is relaxed, that is stretched or loosened, it helps in the elongation of these elongation of stem, roots and leaves. So here you can say cell wall is extensively increased and this hormone induces cell wall loosening or relaxation. So plant cell can be stretched like a rubber when put under tension. So rate of cell elongation is proportional to auxin concentration. More the auxin concentration, more the stretching of the cell wall. But here we can say that stem cell elongation requires more auxin in comparison to the roots. Stem will be requiring more cell elongation than that of the roots. So it will require more auxin. Then second function of auxin is it delays senescence. Senescence is nothing but the aging of or falling of the leaves. Then auxins promote the growth of apical buds and the growth of lateral buds. So apical buds and lateral buds, if I have just drawn a small diagram to show you, this is the apical bud and this is the lateral bud where the budding will be started. This is a dormant lateral bud. So but from here only these leaves and all will be grown. Okay, so here auxins will be promoting the growth of apical buds and inhibiting the growth of lateral buds too. Now majority vascular plants. What are vascular plants? Vascular plants are those plants having a vascular system which is xylem and phloem. Now here in vascular plants, apical buds dominate over lateral buds. So how the growth of lateral buds occurs? When does the lateral buds growth occur? Only when this apical bud falls off. Okay, so this phenomena of suppression of the growth of lateral buds by apical buds is called as apical dominance. So first the apical bud will be growing, okay, and then only the lateral buds will growing. So who is dominating the lateral buds? The apical buds. So we can say this phenomena of suppression is called as the apical dominance. Then next part function of auxins. Auxins induce rooting in the cutting of some plants like rose, bougainvillea. If you remember, we had studied that rose is formed by the stem cuttings, right? Sugarcane is also formed by the stem cuttings. So this, because of this reason, what happens? The rooting, okay, the rooting is induced in the cutting of some plants like rose and bougainvillea because of the formation of the auxins. So auxins will be promoting the growth of rose plant. Then auxins can induce fruit formation without the fertilization in fruits. So some fruits like apples, banana, tomatoes, they don't require fertilization process. I hope you remember what happens in fertilization. Ovary turns into fruit, ovule changes into seeds. So here directly apples and tomatoes, because of auxins the fruit formation takes place. So how does this take place? This development of fruits without fertilization is called as parthenocarpy and fruits are called as parthenocarpic fruits. So here elongation of the fruits will be taking place because of the formation of the auxins which directly changes into fruits, that is which is called as parthenocarpy. So all these are the functions of auxins. Where are the auxins present? Auxins are nothing but the growth stimulant, you can say powerful growth stimulants, and it is present at the root, at the apex of the root and the shoot and the lateral meristems. They are helping in the growth of the stems, roots and fruits by elongation, delaying the leaf senescence, promoting the growth of apical buds and growth of lateral buds. Then auxins helping in the inducing rooting in the cutting of some plants and also inducing the fruit formation. So this is about the auxins. Now next part is the gibberellins. Okay, now you must have heard about gibberellic acid, right? Where is gibberellic acid used? It's used in the grapes just for the elongation of the grapes, right? So here this hormone which is there, that is gibberellins, is used. Now gibberellins is one more kind of a plant hormone, and these are different. There are different forms of these hormone. Okay, so different forms of gibberellins reported. So we have GA1, GA2, GA3, and we have GA4 and so on. However, gibberellic acid, that is GA3, is the studied form. We are studying this particular acid. In higher plants, gibberellins are mainly distributed in meristematic regions like stem apex, root apex, buds, seeds, etc. So here also it is found at the stem apex, root apex, buds as well as seeds. Now what is the function of gibberellins? First function, gibberellins promote the growth of internodes by cell elongation. I hope you know what is node and internode. If this is a plant, this is a node. Okay, so space between two nodes, this is one node, this is another node, space between two nodes is called as what? It's called as internode. So here we can say that it's promoting the growth of internodes. They are breaking the seed dormancy, that means they help in the germination directly. You can say the seed, when it is a dormant state, gibberellins are mostly responsible for changing the dormant seed for germination. They produce fruit growth and are capable of inducing parthenocarpy. So these are also helping in parthenocarpy. Then they also delay senescence like auxins. Then gibberellins are widely used in horticulture and food industry. So in gardens and horticulture and all these things, food industry, this is used. These hormones enhance the longitudinal growth of internodes in dwarf plants. Like dwarf plants are like herbs, grapes and all these things. And then they are used commercially to increase the length of grapes, elongate apples and improve their shape. Gibberellic acid is used to speed up the malting process in brewing industry. Malting processes, if for example the wheat is used, raw wheat is malted, right? When it is used in brewing industries like coffee, beverages, preparing the beverages like alcohol. So here again we can say that gibberellic acid is used. Okay, so here we can say gibberellins, where are they found? Gibberellins are also found in the root apex. Okay, they are also found near the root apex, then meristematic regions like stem, root apex, buds, seeds, etc. Gibberellins help in the growth of internodes. They break the seed dormancy and help in the germination. They promote the fruit growth and are capable of inducing parthenocarpy. They also delay the senescence, and they are widely used in the horticulture and industries. So this was all about the gibberellins. Then the next one, the third one, is the cytokinins. Now where is the cytokinins from? Cytokinins have been discovered comparatively recently in 1905 by Skog and Miller. Cytokinins have specific effects on cell division. If you remember, when we were studying about cell division, we had explained cytokinesis, right? Remember that? So the cytokines are mainly the hormones which are responsible for the cell division. They are produced in the root tips and are transported through the xylem cells. Comparatively large amount of cytokinins is found in germinating seeds, developing fruits, embryo, etc. So here these are the cytokinins which are formed. Now first point of cytokinins, they stimulate plant growth. How? By the cell division, as against auxins and gibberellins which promote the growth by cell elongation. Now here if you see cytokinins, what are they doing? They are promoting the cell division. How? By auxins, and they are promoting the cell division, but auxins and gibberellins, they are doing the cell elongation. In seeds, cytokinins cause expansion of cotyledons. So cotyledons expansion is caused by cytokinins. Then they break the seed dormancy and promote germination. So they also promote germination. They produce chlorophyll synthesis in chloroplast and delay leaf senescence. They also do this, and they also inhibit apical dominance. That is what they will be suppressing the lateral buds. By the lateral buds will be suppressed by the apical buds, which is called as apical dominance. So cytokinins stimulating the plant growth by cell division, promoting the cell division even in non-meristematic tissue. They are helping in the expansion of cotyledons, breaking the seed dormancy and promoting germination, promoting the chlorophyll synthesis, that is formation of the chlorophyll, and delaying the leaf senescence. So cytokinins also inhibit apical dominance. So these are the three different hormones which we studied today, that is auxins, gibberellins and cytokinins. Now the other two hormones which are there, that is ethylene and abscisic acid, will be studying it next time. Okay, thank you children, and take care of yourself.